It never gets old, does it? Well, anyway, let's go and get right into it, huh? So, hey, we're fighting some Zeo, some Urban Shadow Choux, and just the oh-so-wonderful, crazy blue-haired bitch herself, Navy Captain Landy. So what I decided to do is, hey, let's go ahead and bring Sinful Angelica. She's going to straight-up bait the first attack from the Zeo. We have enough effect resist where we're not going to be really affected by it. And because we're dealing with an Urban Shadow Choux, she's got to have a lot of HP to go with that speed. Let's see if we one-tap it. Fuck this game. So, we didn't one-tap it. We should have done enough damage to kill it in one hit. We didn't, and lo and behold, we take injury damage. So, this is like one of the biggest things that I kind of hate about Urban Shadow Choux is because we still don't actually have an answer to injury. So, straight up right there, it's just a matter of like, I don't know how the fuck you fight that unit without taking even some form of injury whatsoever. But basically what we're dealing with here is we also have Destina on our team just in case anything goes down, which, trust me, something's gonna go down. But hey, we've already dealt with the Urban Shadow Choux. Thankfully, we haven't really been dealing with a lot of counterattacks from the Navy Captain Landy. A couple of counterattack, like I think only one counterattack really happened, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. Even if a lot of salvos were going to happen, doesn't really affect us all too terribly much either. So here, I go for the S3 on Lilias right here, just in case the S1 would do more damage, because right now, my next character going to go is going to be Destina. So then Destina can use S3, revive Sinful Angelica. Sure, it doesn't really matter, because we're attempting to go for a different unit for every single round, but I always like to try and have every unit survive. And Shazam, we were able to go ahead and kill that, and we brought back our Sinful Angelica before she died. Hooray! And hey, it looks like I already provided text commentary for this, and just like that, it's already over. Why? Well, the speed tuning's all fucked up and out of whack. So the Lilias went first before the actual gabbing Senya went. So then that means the Lilias does jack shit for damage. And then the Senya is only really going to go into whoever has the lowest HP, or in this case, Shadow Knight Pyllis, and the Choux is also only going to go into the Shadow Knight Pyllis. The Lilias only go into any of the green units. And basically, it's just a really, really long, boring-ass fight of almost nothing really happening. So that's why I skipped pretty much about 4 minutes of this fight. Nothing was going on. It was just a whole bunch of, hey, baby hit, baby hit, baby hit, baby hit, and then you'll eventually win. Like, straight up, we had Aureus from Yulha, we had, like, you know, nerfing of counterattack, extra attack, dual attack stuff on Shadow Knight Pyllis, and then we also had recovery with Roana for every single one of those attacks happening. Shazam! Now, let's go ahead and talk about Moon Bunny Dominiel. Guess what, boys? We're going fishing! So, Moon Bunny Dominiel, whenever an extra turn occurs on the enemy side, it straight up cleanses your ass and gives you immunity for 2 fucking turns, along with Skill Null. So why not bring auxiliary lots, boost up your Arunka, and just murder the ever-loving shit out of whoever Conqueror Lilias just gave a barrier to? Well, that would just so happen to be the big HP bloat bitch Choux herself. So, she's dead. So now I'm weighing my options. Do I S3 on Moon Bunny, or do I go ahead and go for the hit on Senya? I decided, fuck it. Let's just go ahead and go for the S3 on Moon Bunny, get a little bit of a barrier on ourselves, boost up Arunka again, and hey, there's another unit on that field who has a barrier. Let's say goodbye to Conqueror Lilias. Bye, bitch! And now all we have left is Senya. Fortunately, we don't actually put her to sleep right here, and then this procs her S2, where it gives her, you guessed it, a barrier. Well, let's go to Auxiliary Lots, who happens to have Spirit Breath, so we always have S2 available. We can boost up our Arunka, give her attack buff, and bye, bitch! Now, we're going into a Savior Aiden and Mercedes and a Ran. So yeah, this is some like a typical kind of annoying Ran shit. But this is a Silver Rain Ran, so he's going to be providing attack buff for whoever has the highest attack throughout the team. So what I decide to do is, well, Ed's going to be taking the majority of this damage. A lot of it going into like him from either Ran. If this was a RNL Ran, that's why I went in with Ed. Just because I can take a little bit of punishment. And also, I have my Unbound Arowell with me, who's going to be nerfing a lot of that damage with Escort, also providing barriers here and there. And just in case shit gets really pear-shaped, I can always revive any of my units that go down with my Rule of Light. So what I decided to do with my Rule is I decided to just throw on a little bit better gear than what she usually has. It's really not much better. And I decided to also put Soul Consolation on her just for a little bit more effect res and the fact that I'm dealing with non-attack skills periodically. So basically, we've already weathered the first real hit. The first hit was probably the worst thing that happened to us. And now we're able to just slowly go through the team. Because the worst thing that's really going to happen is, hey, what if we were to go into Savior Aiden, we miss, and then we get counterattacked and all that other jazz? It's really not the end of the world, because, yeah, it's a Shepherds of the Hollow Savior Aiden, so it's not Sword of Cycling Seasons, which that's where I didn't know if I wanted to bring a Dark Bait to it or not. Whatever. But now that we've already killed the Mercedes, they're already down one really, really annoying DPS, and I haven't killed Ran yet, so any and all of my rises from Ed with equivalent exchange, any of those that go through don't proc the Savior Aiden. So if I happen to hit on any of those rises, well, ain't that just fucking based? But unfortunately for us, we're not getting a lot of the rises going into our Ed via the Savior Aiden going into him, because 15% is the stupidest fucking mechanic in the universe. Hey guys, everybody hates it. I'm not even kidding. Hey, yo, SG. Literally everyone hates 15%. Everyone hates it. Especially in our case, because we're using units like Edward Elric who want to get debuffed. Like, hey, look, another 15% resistance. Guys, just get rid of it. Nobody likes it. Nobody. Fucking nobody. Nobody likes it. But either way, now we're going in here again. Hey, look, there comes another rise. And also we got a counterattack from Ruele there. So, bam, we got rid of the skill null before the hit even hit him. And deado. Now here, I just go for it. And then we also happen to hit the Savior Aiden. Even if we were to miss and she were to counterattack me, I really wasn't too scared because of all of the damage mitigation I had. And the fact that my Rule is pretty damn tanky. Because we're not dealing with debilitating debuffs that'll kill us. Okay, so we had a whole bunch of fun beforehand. So now let's go on ahead and talk about this match. To those of you who have seen this video already, when there was no commentary, you already know how depressing this is going to get. So this is the same team that we fought in the very, very first match. And quite literally, I could have done the exact same thing to it with a Shadow Knight Pyllis, a Yulha, and a Roana. Would have worked really, really effortlessly, and I really wouldn't have even had to try. But here, I was attempting for almost no reason to just go through this with different units throughout every single fight. So I'm attempting to use Beehoo for the increased burn damage and to see if I can actually one-tap a big HP tank like Choux. Now, if Benimaru's Taichi had activated, we would have fucking done that. And then here was another factor that really fucked me up. That Senya was faster than I was expecting. Sure, on the left side of the CR bar, you can see my Beehoo was actually ahead of her, and he was pushed back from the attack from the Lilias, so you would expect that he would be faster and hit his turn before her turn. Sadly, that didn't happen, so we didn't even get an opportunity to use the S3 to put on Unbuffable so that Senya couldn't actually get her buffs on, and then burn her to death with an S1. And hey, looky there, we're fucking dead. That was cool. Oh, don't worry, guys. It ain't over yet. We're going to see something else really fucking cool on this fight here. So, this is a Zeo, ae-KARINA, and a Navy Captain Landy. How do you go ahead and fight this? If you really don't give a shit, Dark Corvus, 2 healers. Bam. You immediately win. Because if you have a healer that can do any kind of like reviving shenanigans just in case you get utterly fucked by an ae-KARINA with like, you know, defense down, and then like extra hit and rocket punch and then all that other shit. But hey, let's go ahead and watch this real quick. So we just hit everything and we decided, oh, well, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, you know, being hit with a counterattack that does 25,000 fucking damage in one turn. Yeah, you know, that's not bad. What's the worst that could happen if I were to use S3 immediately? So I guess the mere fact that Zeo missed his silence on my Lethe was actually the big thing that really, really fucked me over. Oh well, whatevs. So there was a way that we could have still won from beforehand, and it was just a matter of if we just didn't use the Lethe S3 immediately and then go into the Navy Captain Landy to build up Omen, then use the S3 Soul Burn, and then like go in again, and then you would kill it. Because the big thing that Shuna is there for, she's there to bait the ae-KARINA, like for any and all of the big S3 attacks that she's going to do. And the Dark Corvus was basically going to be doing any and all extra damage to go into the team. Unfortunately, that didn't work out because Lethe got absolutely fucking destroyed in one single turn, and this Time Matter Zeo here killed my Shuna, so then he gets his S3 back. Hey, cool, now I'm silenced. God damn, I'm having a lot of fun. And with that being said, our good pal ae-KARINA just comes through and takes us out. So, what did we learn today, boys and girls? Well, it turns out diversity is not always a strength.
Is this my limit?
I learned that the hard way. But either way, I guess, like, if I'm in a situation like that again, normally whenever I go into like the final round and I want to test something or I want to experiment, sometimes that's when I will do an experiment. I was debating on if I wanted to hit that tower first for the sake of actually having different units going into stuff. But it doesn't really matter because there's no actual plus to doing the stuff that I do. Like, if you wanted to, you can always, like, hell, if you really want to, and if you're fighting a guild that's being as, like, ridiculous as possible, and every single team has the exact same team, and you have one team that can just destroy it, yo, be that guy. Go ahead and just destroy a guild using 6 units. I've done it in the past. It was actually really, really fun. It's just very, very rarely you fight something where, like, it's literally the same team for all 3 big towers. Doesn't happen all that often, but whenever it does, yeah, go on ahead. You can do that. But either way, so why am I even talking about all this kind of stuff? So, turns out, a good pal of mine, Sue, I met him during the Orbis Caster class. He actually invited me to do a little bit of a podcast with him. I'll go ahead and I'll have that up there in the top right of the screen. If you want to, you can go ahead and click that, and I'll also have it just in the ending thumbnail credits of the video. If you want to go ahead and watch that, we actually had a hell of a good time when we were just talking. It was a ton of fun. I really, really hope he invites me back for any and all future conversations, or hell, if he happens to get himself a whole lot of other people, and then we could all just like discuss other certain topics. I mean, hey, I had a lot of fun with it. We just back and forth, podcasting, just, you know, chilling, maxing, relaxing, all cool. But either way, man, I greatly appreciate the opportunity to come on and do that little show with you, Sue. I'd be more than happy to come on for any and all future stuff, or like if you need any help with anything, hey, just holler at me, man. I'll be happy to help you with whatever it is that you may need. But either way, boys and girls, that was pretty much the Guild War. It was a ton of fun until, like, you know, after about 6 minutes. And then the last match came through and the experimentations did not work out. But either way, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit a like. If you want to see more of my content, please go ahead and hit subscribe. All of that does a lot of good for my mental health. Hope you have a good one. See ya.